Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is an exciting one for me because I love doing tier lists. I love putting things on paper, making spreadsheets, analyzing data, and doing this type of stuff. So this video is going to be the unveiling of my version 1.0 Summoner's Glory tier list. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's jump straight in. I'm going to pull up version 1.0 of the Summoner's Glory tier list. And a couple things right out the gate is I want to give a huge shout out to my good friend, Trigger Happy John. I will link to his channel down below in a pinned comment. He puts out a lot of good stuff about Summoner's Glory. So if you're going to play the game, that's a good place to start. And thank you for your help, Trigger Happy John. And one thing I want to make sure and touch on right from the start is that tier list should be used as a resource to help you learn and study the game. You should not use it as a Bible. At the end of the day, it's going to be the opinion of a human, which means it's going to have flaws. And on my tier lists, I like to make them a living document. Like I said, this is version 1.0. I'm going to constantly be updating this as I learn more about the game, as I talk to more people who have played the game a lot, as I interact with the community, as the metas change, as phantoms get released. Things like that are going to make my rankings change. So I will do my best to keep it as accurate as possible, but just know that it's never going to be perfect. So just use it as a good reference and starting point while you're learning the game, but ultimately you do want to be cross-referencing with your own opinions when you come to decisions on which phantoms to build on your account. And if you ever want to be able to pull up this tier list at any point in the future, I will remember to put it in a pinned comment on most of my Summoner's Glory videos, or also on any video on my channel from here on out. It'll be in the video description as one of my resources, but you can also head on over to choflyelite.com, and up at the top right of the screen on the very home page, you will see a section that says resources. You can go down to Summoner's Glory, and boom, the tier list will be in there, and anything else that I do in the future for the game will be in there as well. But then to walk you through just the actual contents of the tier list and give you a brief explanation. Over to the far top right, you will see relevant links. This video that I'm recording right now will be what is linked there on tier list video. And then if I do like version 2.0, version 3.0, that tier list video will link to my most recent video on the tier list. Then right below that is going to be a link to the Discord community. We do all sorts of giveaways on there for Summoner's Glory resources. We play all sorts of games, and there's lots of people there to interact and play the game with. Then right below that is a link to my Twitch stream where I am live every single day, basically year-round. I'll be playing not only Summoner's Glory, but lots of other games as well. Then down below that, you will see the infographic of what you're going to want to know if you are a brand new player. Server 3 is the newest server on Summoner's Glory, so that's the one that I started my guild on and started playing on. So if you want me to be able to carry you for getting some of those endgame gear runs when you're to help you get up and running as soon as possible, I can only do that if you're on server 3 with me. And then also if you are starting the game, you can put in the promo code CHOFLY at the character creation screen there at the bottom left of that screen, and you'll start with some free resources to help you out when you are just getting up and going. Then going back up a little bit, under descriptions, you will see the different descriptions of the tiers. So this tier list is tiered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tier 1 being the best and tier 5 being the worst. The tier 1 phantoms are going to be the extremely good ones. If you have double S versions of tier 1 phantoms, you are definitely going to want to build them at least at some point. And then as you get down to like tiers 4 and tier 5, they are mostly going to be food phantoms that you're just evoing to evo other phantoms and feed them in to make them more powerful. And then below the tiers, you'll see damage, heals, control, and utility. And then over on the left, you'll see those green boxes filled in if that phantom brings that to the table. So you can just kind of get a good lay of the land in terms of what your team and the phantoms you're thinking about building are going to be bringing to the team. But that's not all. I know some of you out there are just, hey, keep it simple. I don't need all this crazy data. Just give me your top 10 list and let me move on with my life. And if that's the type of person you are, I have got you covered as well. If we scroll down, you will see Chosen's current top 10 overall phantoms right there. Number 1, Goddess Zoe. Number 2, Ankaris. Number 3, Sea Conqueror. Number 4, Lord of Shadows. Number 5, Secret Dancer. Number 6, Dracula Eye. Number 7, Puppeteer. Number 8, Haley. Number 9, King Arthur. And number 10, Zeus. Just keep in mind that this is an overall ranking. It's just going to like take into account my top 10 overall. If you ask me to make that list, it's not going to take into account being specialists in one certain area of the game. It's just the top 10. Like if I could only pick 10 phantoms to have in my account, that's probably what I would go with. And do keep in mind, just like the tier list you see there on the bottom left of the tier list there, this will be updated regularly as either phantoms are released or my opinions evolve. So that top 10 is going to be fluid, it's going to change, and my opinion is definitely going to evolve over time. But if you just want to know my current top 10 phantoms in the game, that will be right there. And I also want to make sure that you know not all phantoms are equally easy to acquire. Some of them are much more rare than others. I wanted to try to incorporate that on this version 1.0 of the tier list, but I've heard through the grapevine that we're supposed to be getting that information public in-game pretty soon in one of the very nearest patches that are going to be hitting live. So when that day comes, I will probably find a way to incorporate that on the tier list with the real actual data. But some of these top phantoms, like your Goddess Zoe, your Ancaris, your Lord of Shadows, are going to be really hard to get. They are much more rare than some of the other phantoms, like Zeus down there at number 10 and Dracula Eye at number 6. Those are some of the more common ones that you probably see here in the top 10. The other ones are going to be a lot tougher to acquire, and I don't know the exact like decimal point data, but as soon as I do, I will get that data on there so that you will know that as well. And then I want to put this away just for a second as we move towards wrapping up the tier list discussion. And I want to show you how, if you're new to the game, you can go through and start. I think it's a good idea to look at different phantoms and go through their abilities and try to learn what's out there. For instance, in this game, the attack meter is basically the turn meter. Like, if you play Raid Shadow Legends or something, you'll know about the turn meter, but in Summoner's Glory, it's actually called attack meter. So just learning little nuances like that can be really good when going through, and you can do that by clicking down here on the bottom, the 3-bar menu, going into Phantoms, and then this book right here. If you click on that, it's going to bring up the different elements in the game, and you can go through even Phantoms you don't have yet. You'll be able to click on them and then click on their kit abilities right here and be able to read through and kind of get an idea of what you think looks good and what looks like it might not have a whole lot of value. Then you can cross-reference that with something like my tier list and be like, huh, okay, so this Phantom's ranked in the top 5. I wonder why that is, and kind of go through. I mean, this video would be 3 hours long if I did that, but it's a good way to kind of acclimate yourself with the game so you can start coming to your own conclusions by using a resource to kind of help you get to that point. And then it is also worth mentioning that we have got some big times coming up in Summoner's Glory soon here. I don't know exactly when I'm going to release this. I'm hoping within the next 24 hours or so, and I'm hoping definitely before May 1st. But there's going to be a Labor Day event coming up, and it's going to be a lot of really fun stuff going on in game based around different objectives and being active and completing different tasks. This is a behind-the-scenes document that I've gotten from some insiders about this Labor Day event that they have allowed us to share with you. And you can see here, as you go through, you can acquire gold and silver keys. Then you're going to be able to use those keys to buy resources in-game. And you can even get the skill phantoms, which are super, super rare. Very important on some of those phantoms that are really tough to get dupes of, like your Ancaris and your Goddess Zoe. You're going to want skill phantoms when you do summon something crazy like that, so that you can like maximize their skill potential and get those skills upgraded so you can unlock the true potential of that phantom. So I'm excited for that. I think it's going to be a big week in Summoner's Glory, and that should be a really fun 5 days. Honestly, it's a better time than ever to get involved in Summoner's Glory, and if you are new to the game, I am willing to help you come through live on stream or message me on Discord when we get gear runs going. I will try to help you get up and running as fast as possible. Feel free to message me whenever you want. Join the Discord, interact, and we will do our best to help you out. Message me if you have any questions. And then also, once again, just a massive shout out to my good friend Trigger Happy John for helping me work on this initial 1.0 of the tier list. Remember, I've got a link to his channel down below, and I really appreciate your help, John. And remember, the link to the tier list is also down below in that pinned comment, so you can pull this up and take a look at it whenever you would like. And I will do my best to keep this up to date as my opinions grow, and as I learn more from the community. I'll do my best to keep this as accurate as possible for you. So that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.